Hi, welcome back to Girls Dreaming Big's video blog series featuring incredible women and their story. I hope you've been enjoying it as much as we have, and today we have a special treat. I think so often we only hear about the jobs our moms are doing, or our neighbors, or maybe our dad or uncle, what have you, and so we don't get to hear about the incredible different jobs that are out there. You know, when I was growing up, I thought I could either be a doctor, lawyer, teacher. I became a teacher. But so today is awesome because our guest, Dana Borchert, has a really unique profession, and I think you'll be excited to hear all about it. So we're going to dive in. Dana, how are you a girl dreaming big? No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure at all. You know, I think it's an interesting question to think more about, and when I think back, I think I'm a girl dreaming big because I just went for what I wanted. And I'm probably a rare case in the fact that I was able to find this career really early on.
Yeah.
So my mom actually worked to put my dad through school.
I didn't know that.
She went back to college in her 40s and would take me along to her college psychology classes.
Oh my gosh.
And so I got exposed to the world of psychology and loved it. But
how old were you when that happened?
I was about 11. So
you were going to classes with your mom when you were 11?
Sitting in the back. She had some really good classes where we would do lab studies. I think I was everyone's favorite participant for all these different psychology experiments.
Yeah.
But I learned early on that I was too empathetic and sensitive to be a therapist.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, I love this world of psychology, but definitely can't be a therapist.
Okay.
And during all of this, my dad is in the business world and learning more about that. And he introduced me to a psychologist who said, you know, there's this world of business psychology. And I thought, whoa.
Put the two things I love together.
Is perfect. Yep.
Yeah.
And so at about the age of 15, I started exploring what they call industrial organizational psychology.
Now, is that a new profession? Because I had never heard of that term, industrial.
You know, it really started with what you think of it, the industrialization. So
okay.
When you think of time and motion studies that you may have heard in your management courses, you know, people working along the Ford motor line.
Oh, okay,
That's really where some of those concepts started. They also started in the military, looking at how do we select the best military candidates who are psychologically prepared but can also think about strategy. Mm-hmm. So coming together from a lot of different fields, industrial organizational psychology was formed. And
so you can get your undergraduate degree in that, or?
So it's a little more difficult. A lot of schools have industrial organizational certificates.
Okay.
And then it's really about going to graduate school and getting your master's and your PhD.
Yeah, so what gave you the courage to go after such a unique position and things like that?
You know, if I look back, way back when, it does kind of go back to my parents. They are a constant support system for me.
That's huge.
So I really knew along the way that if I failed a class or went after this and decided to change and become, you know, a business major or a political science major or an art history major, they would be totally supportive of me. I would also say that pretty early on I found some great mentors. So,
and you've told me that your father was a big proponent of mentors.
All along, and he's mentored a lot of people.
Yeah.
Just mentors in the industry, as well as just other great women too. And I really would say it had to be all of those mentors. I couldn't have just had one that supported me along the way, but they each gave me courage at different points. Some were helpful by saying, great job. Others said, you're going down the wrong direction, you should do this.
So they'd steer you on a different path.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is helpful. Now, for someone who doesn't have a mentor, you know, do you have any advice as to how to go about that? Because I think that term, find a mentor, that's out there right now a ton. Everyone's talking about mentors, but I remember when I started my company, sitting there thinking, so how do I do this? So do you have advice as to how a girl can find that if she's in, you know, that situation?
Yeah. I think a big thing is don't get stuck in what other people define as a mentor. A mentor is what you need in the moment. So that could be someone you meet with for coffee every week. It could be someone you call twice a year with a tough question. And you want to make sure you don't, I don't want to say waste that mentor's time.
Right.
But it also is a mutual relationship, so they want to commit to you as well. And I think that's why I had so many mentors, because some of them were the people that I met with more frequently.
Okay.
Others were the ones I just called that were maybe in my industry or I knew had experience.
Yeah. But you knew you could reach out to them if you needed help.
Yeah. So I think if you're trying to find a mentor, just start calling people and invite them to coffee or ask if you can come to their office for 30 minutes to pick their brain.
Well, to end, we've talked a lot about how you got to where you are, but we haven't talked about what you're doing. And I think your job's fascinating, and so I want people to hear, you know, this cool job that's out there and that they can maybe pursue if they so chose.
Great. So to tell you a little more about what I do, so I'm an industrial organizational psychologist. It's really like a business psychologist. And we say that we're external consultants because I work for a firm that's hired out by different companies to do anything that has to do with people at work.
Okay.
So it really covers the talent management spectrum. So what I mean by that is we go in and do coaching for executives.
Oh, wow.
And team building with their teams. It's not just fun, it's about aligning their strategy and their vision.
And they're like strengths and weaknesses?
There's always strengths and weaknesses.
We all have those.
We all have them. And recognizing those weaknesses. So often I meet people who are very concerned about sharing where they failed. And I get it, you don't want to broadcast that everywhere.
Right.
But there is definitely a place and a time to admit that to yourself and realize how you can move forward and capitalize on it.
And there's power in owning your shortcomings, because then you can, you know, buffer it with people who are stronger than you.
Yes.
We don't have to be granted everything.
No, build a team.
Exactly.
Build a team.
I'm the queen of that one.
And then we also help with things like strategic planning. So it's so fun because I get to work across so many different industries, from finance to high fashion retail.
Oh, so you get to take different loves and combine them.
It is. It's really fun. And people at lots of different levels. I work with a lot of professionals who were individual contributors, meaning they were the ones doing the work, maybe drawing the architectural plans.
Oh, wow.
To now they're managing a whole architecture team and building a building. And that's a big jump.
Yeah, that's a huge, and so you kind of help foster that jump?
Help them kind of get there and then learn the new skills that it takes to manage a team versus doing the great architectural drawings they were doing before.
So would you encourage a girl to pursue this job if she was interested in psychology and business and had all different kinds of interests, it sounds like? Is that the kind of girl that would benefit from your career?
This job has so much variety in terms of industries and the type of work you're doing. Plus, it's kind of that, we were talking about raising those hurdles. It's a constant challenge, which is really fun. You'll never get bored. And yeah, I would say please look into it.
Well, wonderful. Well, we appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing all that you do. And we look forward to seeing you all next week. Feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Thanks again. Bye-bye.